Days passed, then weeks. The men were still drifting in the Atlantic Ocean with no sign of rescue. Their situation was becoming unbearable. The turnips were long gone, fresh water was gone, and every day their bodies grew weaker. The sun burned during the day, and the cold cut through them at night. Hunger and thirst became constant pain. Richard Parker, the cabin boy, began to weaken the fastest. He had drunk seawater, despite warnings from the others. It made his condition worse. Soon he became ill and delirious. He barely spoke and spent most of his time lying at the bottom of the lifeboat. The others watched him closely. They began to believe he would not survive much longer. At the same time, they faced the same certainty about themselves. If nothing changed, all four would die at sea. It was during these desperate days that the idea of sacrifice was first discussed. Captain Dudley suggested something shocking. He proposed that they draw lots to decide who would die so the others could live. The idea was based on an old maritime tradition used in extreme survival situations. But there was a problem. No one agreed to it, and no lots were ever drawn. Instead, the decision was left unmade. Days continued to pass. Parker's condition worsened. He was now barely conscious, unable to move properly, unable to defend himself. The others began to look at him differently, not as a boy, but as a possible source of survival. On the 20th day at sea, Dudley made a decision. He told Stevens that Parker was likely to die soon anyway. He believed that waiting would mean all of them would die. Shortly after, while Parker was weak and lying in the boat, Dudley killed him. The other men did not stop him. Afterwards, the 3 survivors used his body as a means of survival. They ate what was necessary to stay alive. For a few more days they continued drifting, and then something unexpected appeared on the horizon. A ship. Rescue had finally come. The men were pulled from the lifeboat and taken aboard. They were alive, but what they had done at sea would soon follow them back to England. In Part 3, the survivors return home and face arrest for murder.